rules
Is there any rules of what?
like language?
No.
Nope.
Please say fuck as many times as you can.
Okay, fair enough. Awesome.
All right. We're here at the
If we,
guest.
I'm ruining this. If we did
We've already
blurbs,
got a blooper
if we
reel.
did bloopers before the shit, like before the episode, that would have been perfect. Use fuck as many times as you want, as you can. We're very professional. Again, almost 6 years of doing this. This is what you get.
All right. We're here at the guest segment of the podcast. You guys know I always throw it over to Jason to introduce our awesome first time guests that we're super stoked to talk to. Spoked or stoked? More bloopers. Anyway, Jason, take it away.
Well, coming to us from one of our favorite states for music, because every time we turn around, there is another fantastic band or artist coming from there. These guys have been on our list for a while. A lot of our guests has recommended them. They're playing some shows with some previous guests like Blackstone Cherry and the Filthy Heathens. Finally, you've got the three original dudes who started it all. From the Damn Shames, we have Clay, Trevor, and Andrew. How's it going, guys?
Doing all right, buddy. How are you?
We're good. We're good. But so where are you guys at in Kentucky?
We're in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay, cool. Right on. Right on. That's like
About
hot. No, that's not too far from like Glasgow and Edmonton, right?
about 30 from Glasgow, probably 45 to an hour from Nashville, depending on who's driving.
Yeah.
Or what time of day it is? Good Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so we're convinced because, as we were chatting before the show, Steve Jewell, we just had him on, and then I took a bass lesson from him a while back, and I had to ask him, it's like, how can there be so many great musicians from that specific, it's all across the state, but that specific area? So we don't believe in Roswell anymore because the real stuff's going on there in South Central Kentucky. In other words, Steve said you guys are all aliens.
It's in the water. You look at a
Is it
map,
the water
it
or is
sits
it
in
the
the water,
caves? I think
not
it's
the
the
water.
caves.
It's the
The
water.
water?
'Cause we're on top of all the caves. It's the water. It hits us first.
A lot of fluoride.
And then, yeah.
So you guys
I'm,
don't go down in the caves and you like see this glowing, cavern that you go in and you bathe in the water and you come out and you're great musicians?
I'm a big dude. I ain't got no business being in there.
You know what's funny? We have Lost River Cave here in Bowling Green. It's like a big attraction. The other day I was looking for something to do. I was like, let's go check it out. We got mixed up into like a tour guide little deal, and I said, let's just do it. So we're going. He takes us under the cave, and I'm like, wow, it's the first time I've seen this. And then he's like, we're going to get on a boat. Everybody with your wristbands, just make sure and show the guy. And I'm like, wait a second, wristbands? I went on this whole tour and didn't realize you're supposed to have wristbands. So I was like, maybe we should just turn around.
I've never been of all the years we've been here. Never been to Lost River.
I got a free tour and didn't. I was like, I hope we don't get in trouble for this,
Yeah,
because I didn't mean to.
yeah. It could be. You could chalk it up to something that's in the water, or in the caves if you want. But I think it's inspiration. I can't explain as to what happened from the jump. You could shake that up to the headhunters if you wanted to, or you know Bill Monroe's from Rosine. Uh, the start of it, who knows? But the influence of everyone doing playing music like they do is what continues to make it grow and you know birth these bands out of this area. I think because one band influences a younger group of guys who want to do it, and that brings them up, and then they end up influencing another younger group of cats who want to do it. And I think that's what keeps the ball rolling here in this area for the most part, in my opinion.
Well, even when we've talked to Greg Martin, I mean, obviously those guys were Itchy Brothers before the Headhunters, and there was a band, Buster Brown, that those guys will talk about. Um, but going back to caves now, maybe it's because the ghost of Floyd Collins is like, you know, infiltrating everybody's spirit. And I loved that song for so long, and that's my favorite record of Blackstone Cherry, Folklore and Superstition. But I had to research, yeah, it was a real guy, and that all really happened. So, and also very fascinated with the town of Horse Cave, Kentucky.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great. It's a wonderful place.
yeah. We were just there a couple weekends ago doing some you know social media stuff out that way. And it'd been the first time any of us had been out there for a long time either. So we sat there and read all of those placards and stuff about Floyd and the great city of Cave City out there, and all those museums, the Wax Museum they got down there, and all the putt-putts and the Guntown Mountains and all that stuff. It's a cool
And
area.
they're totally
I've flown
reviving.
into that Cave City airport before. Or is it Cape City or is it Glasgow? Glasgow Airport, I think I've flown into. It's like one way.
Yeah,
One runway.
yeah, yeah. They're all right there touching each other. Cave City, Horse Cave, Glasgow, Park City, all of it. Yeah.
Well, we
And
like
it's cool,
to
I think
Go ahead.
go ahead.
it's cool, like just being inspired musically, but like to see a lot of the bands from Kentucky actually have success is also inspiring, I feel like. And then you you get to learn from them. And like you mentioned Steve Jewell, I mean he's the best. And he's always so open to like share knowledge and like
And honest about it. Like don't waste your time with that.
yeah,
Whatever it is,
on the business end of it,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
just the
Yes.
music. And that's so important because once you get into it, you realize it is a business, but you still want to have fun. You want to love what you're doing, but you have to be inspired by it all. And luckily, I think we're fortunate to have successful musicians like Steve and
A lot
the
of
guys in Blackstone Cherry to always be there to give you some knowledge, even if it's something you don't want to hear. It's important.
So the only sort of like regular repetitive question that we'll always ask our first time guests is just give us a if we get like kind of a brief, background like how this band got started or how you got started in music and then how the band got started.
Yeah. We've all been in a bunch of other bands, starting out, and rubbed elbows that way over the years. And then these two fellers had a band before this one that was doing big things for a while with a couple of other buddies of ours. Ended up pulling me in about midway through. Um, how long did we do that? Probably.
I mean, myself and Trevor, we started that in 2015. I think we rolled up until just past the pandemic. Well, in the middle of the pandemic, I think is when we decided like we needed a rebrand, needed to. We were kind of felt like our musical itch wasn't getting scratched. We wanted the audio scape to be more broader. We wanted the songs to be um, more honest. It's funny because the sound that we ran from when we were younger. I mean, we grew up listening to a lot of the same stuff, but a lot of similar or a lot of different stuff too. But '90s country and your Alice in Chains, your Eagles, your Alabamas. We ran from that sound for so long. I felt like, and then it's funny because when the rebrand happened, it was like um, this was the only sound that made sense for us. It was just probably the most honest sound, I would say. You know.
And going from the sounds that we were making before, it wasn't that it wasn't honest. It was just in our, later teen years, we got into rock. That's what
Mhm.
we wanted to do. But when we was like, let's do a rebrand, it's like, well, the people who might have listened to us before, they might think that we're maybe faking it. But it's like, no, this is what we grew up on. So this could be the most honest version of ourselves. Let's just,
It's also a big point to make in my opinion is that with this we're just writing songs. Whatever they end up sounding like is what they sound like. We're not
Love it.
trying to write something to fit a certain genre or corner of the market at all. Now afterwards we'll put instruments on it. Your lap steels and fiddles and uh, pedal steel and all that jazz, and then that naturally gives it a little bit of a country flavor, and turns it into some of the songs people want to call a country song. You could still argue are just rock songs, but they all just start as just a song.
Yeah, I think part of I'm going to say a positive about it being an indie band these days is you don't have a record label or anybody telling you need to sound more like this. And you guys said something that's really cool. You write the songs and whatever they sound like, they sound like. I love that.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's the extra instrumentation that gets put on them, in my opinion, that give them, the flavor, the southern country style flavor, to songs that honestly could be any other genre if you wanted them to be.
And with that being said, we're also like we're really big on not just having songs written just to have songs. Um, like whoever comes up with an idea, we usually know, okay, just that melody is good enough to really, hash it out and make a song out of it. But we
Mhm.
all have a certain standard that we've set for ourselves ever since the beginning. Like we know what we want out of the songs, and it's way easier to be like, okay, that idea, we all know we don't like that. That's not what we want, but it makes the process really cool.
Yeah, it's why we're not churning out 20 song records every year either. We we're we're very particular on what we want and what makes the cut and what doesn't, and then we try to go as hard as we can possibly go, without a big label as budget backing us, to make it as best as it can possibly be. We're super proud of that record we put out last year, because we took our time on it. We weren't pressed for anything. We weren't pressed for a deadline. We spent all the monies that we could possibly scrape together to make it sound to the best of its
Mhm.
ability. Um, and I remember there's one song off the record called Hickory Switch that has a six piece horn section on it, and that was a little bit of a topic that we had to discuss for a while. If it was worth it doing, and ultimately we had to step back from it and be like, well, look, we've swung at every pitch so far on this record. Why we don't want to bunt now? So we scraped that together, and we got a fella down in Nashville to put a six-piece horn orchestra on that song as well, and money well spent, if you ask us.
You guys mentioned like not, intentionally writing a song to fit any genre. Um, I think, but I realize like with the Headhunters and then with, a lot of the other bands in Kentucky, it really shows that for you guys, music isn't separated out into lanes. Rock and roll and the country and the blues all are related. It's all like genetically kind of linked, so to speak. Um, and I don't know if that's so much of a question as an observation, but that just really kind of seems to stand out to me.
It every single time it always starts with a song. There has to be a song there for there to even be flavors put on it, genres put on it. And I think most consumers don't listen to just one particular genre. I mean, sure, you have your purists in their respective genres, but I think most everybody consumes um, a genre of music nowadays that is heavily, or maybe not even heavily, but influenced by different genres. I mean, we call that Americana music now, and
Mhm.
you know, we're very much so inspired by all the blues, the rock, the country, everything that is Americana. You know,
Yeah,
And
if I can't send Andrew here a voice memo at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday and make him sob with just a little crappy voice memo, then all the production in the world isn't going to make it better in that regard.
but it's usually not a song he's sending me. It's usually like hate speech
Yeah,
that he's sending me.
Hate speech
You know,
before you go to bed.
practices. Yeah, that's his bedtime stories.
Does it give you nightmares?
and nah, you get used to it.
He cuddles him in, tucks him in.
Boy, if I don't hear some hate speech, I just can't get a good night's sleep. Brian, one thing is interesting that you brought up that I really didn't think about before is we've had all these bands from Kentucky on, and none of them sound like each other. Sure, they have some of the same influences and same flavor, but each band is different. Even the guys from, that area, the Bowling Green, Glasgow, parts. It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if that's intentional, people just trying to stay off of each other's toes or what, but you got all kinds of different stuff around here, and no one ever seems to overlap. There are different little sections, little parts of things that overlap naturally, but another big group around here that we're good friends with that we don't sound anything alike is a band called the Josephines. If you've
Oh yeah, yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Forgot to mention them.
yeah,
Yep.
some good buddies of ours, and they're very very much a genre of their own. But we have a lot of the same friends and play a lot of the same shows and stuff like that. So yeah, it's we're blessed to be down here, to be honest.
And then back when we were first starting out, and you were in your first band, like we had people around here that were, I mean, we had Cage the Elephant. They were already extremely successful, but we were
Mhm.
looking up to people even like that were successful. They weren't as big as Cage the Elephant, like bands like Sixth Floor, but totally different than Cage the Elephant. So there was just we were seeing successful bands and looking up to them, and it seems like there were so many of them around here, but they all had different sounds, and we took all that in plus the other stuff we listened to, the mainstream stuff. So it's kind of weird to think about. I've never really thought about it like that. Like,
I think ultimately it just made everyone aware that there are no rules. There's no
Mhm.
rules. There's no guidelines. There's nothing you have to follow. Do whatever you want. Somebody out there is gonna love it.
Absolutely. And you said something, you guys called yourself Southern Country. When Brian and I were talking or chatting back and forth about you guys, I mean, my description of you guys was like Southern rock country with pop sensibilities. And I love that about you guys. Great melodies, hooks, you've got the sounds, and I think you guys separate yourself from the rest of the bands coming out of Kentucky just because, you sound like you.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Some lady wrote a review on us a year or so ago and called us Power Country, and we've been hanging on
Interesting.
to that. We've
Yeah,
been
so
hanging on
like
to that
power
ever since.
rock or power pop, you guys like the cheap
Yeah.
trick of Southern country music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We got to follow it up with a commercial. Power country.
Power Country.
Yeah.
Power Country 101 coming to you from Bowling Green,
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Fun fact, actually, to promote our record, we did do an infomercial. It is on our Instagram.
Yeah.
If y'all please feel free to check that out. And it was one of the
Yeah.
it was just one of the funnest things
So
that we've gotten to do.
so satisfying.
So easily done too.
are you talking about the wrestling one?
No, no,
No.
no. The one for the record where you did the voiceover.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
For the info, was it an infomercial for the album itself, or you were like
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
got it.
like those late nights.
Oh yeah,
Now that's what I call whatever or
right.
power ballads, all in 2 discs.
Monster ballads, 2 discs.
Yes.
I had that.
Yeah, that's what we did. We made one of those for the record last year when it come out, and he did the narration, and it's so perfect. I don't know if I'm more satisfied with the way the record turned out or if the way that promo turned out.
I'm gonna go back and check that out. Are you guys familiar with the band Cinderella? Tom Kiefer and all that. One of their first appearances ever they did. They're out of the Philly area. Was Gino's Hot Dogs or whatever it was. If you ever go back and look, yeah, that's what I was thinking of for you guys. Like the same thing.
Yeah, we just seen that recently. Actually, I guess
It's amazing. It's one of my
coming
favorite
back.
things. It's
Yeah, yeah.
relic of its time.
That stuff is so fun. That's the best part about having something new to put out. Honestly, is the promo you get to do and stuff for it. All the teases and everything like that, and just any dumb thing you can think of will do the job.
I don't know if y'all had ever seen like we're big on music videos. We don't have a lot out right now. We do them ourselves, but we haven't been able to tap in the way we want to on the music videos yet. But I don't know if y'all remember like the old Foo Fighters videos or maybe some of the old Seether videos where what was that Foo Fighters video where they're in that nursing home?
Yeah, that's Run.
No.
Yeah, it's Run.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man, I thought it was older than that.
No, that one's relatively
But-
new, but
oh
all
my
of their
God.
stuff was like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like
A little bit of fun.
Yeah, because it is of all the topics that you can touch on and just in the world or whatever the case may be, it's fun to have fun.
Someday we'll
Yeah.
get to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we're also inspired by pro wrestling.
Right on.
Too much. Like, so it all meshes together when we're trying to.
You guys watching this new WrestleMania that's going on this weekend?
I seen the highlights from last night. I didn't buy the ESPN Plus app because that's crazy. But I'm going to be watching the highlights tonight because their YouTube channel's great for that. Like,
I got a website.
Is it really?
so we can watch WrestleMania tonight.
Yeah, I got a website for it.
You know,
All
we had a
right,
big-
good man.
We had a big album release show last year too with them Dirty Roses at the Grove here in
Nice.
Glasgow. We
Another great band.
cut a big WWE inspired promo for that as well. That's out there somewhere.
Did you guys body slam Andrew Davis or anything?
No, we wanted to. Honestly, we were just trying to entice them to rebuttal, but they didn't.
Well, I've got an idea, and usually Jason comes up with the ideas. Before I get into that, when we talked to CC Gray, who's Charlie Starr's son, he's a big wrestling fan, as is Eric Snoddy, the Blackberry Smoke merch manager. But I'm assuming like you guys are talking about, your infomercials and stuff and having a sense of humor. So if it's anything like Mojo Thunder has got funny shit that they do video stuff. So
Yep.
so here's what
Yep.
we're gonna do. Jason and I are gonna be the announcers, and there's gonna be like it'd have to be a 4-man tag, you guys against Mojo Thunder in a cage.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, they're great at that stuff too. They have a whole lot of fun with that stuff.
We're gonna shoot a music video with a wrestling ring one day. We've been talking about it forever. If we could just find somewhere that had a wrestling ring, we would do it. But
There's got to be like one of those background or backyard, those underground wrestling independent things
Indie
that's coming
wrestling.
through.
I
Yeah.
had it, y'all. There was a year where I was working with some independent wrestlers, and then every Friday evening, me and all the boys went to the wrestling rink that ain't there no more.
You'd be
Man,
surprised.
I did have the in.
You'd be surprised at how many people have, professional wrestling rings in their backyard that they won't come off of.
That would be the best yard sale find.
we could build one. We could easily build one.
you
We
could build one. Yeah.
I totally could. I've wanted to since I was a kid, but that's a little bit too much money for just one music video right now. One day.
Someday we got a lot of ideas if we could ever fund them.
But you could rent that to people who also wanted to do music theme videos or wrestling theme videos, music or otherwise.
Yep, that's true.
Or create your own independent wrestling league.
Or just
I like
go all
that.
in.
Damn
I
Shames
like
Wrestling. It just sells itself.
I like
Yeah,
that.
we would
I,
totally do it.
I was looking. We do have a championship belt here, like a real one, but I don't know why we don't have one made yet.
We could.
We're gonna get it, and we're gonna defend
That's just
it.
another thing. Thanks a lot, y'all. Y'all just gave them another thing to cost us some money.
Put us in the ring with Mojo. I'm coming for you, Andrew.
You got to do a shirt. You got to do some merch with like a championship belt image on it, like the Damn James Championship Wrestling Leaguers. Come on.
Maybe right there at the waist.
Exactly.
With the shirt.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Some of those breakaway like muscle tees or something like that, like the Hulkamania ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If they don't rip when the wind blows, I don't want them.
That's right. Maybe some vitamins, some Damn James. I mean, just follow the Hulk Hogan model.
Well,
Yeah, we had we never had them, but we had plans for papers too, didn't we?
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
smokables.
Boy,
Yeah.
get this guy a little stoned, and he's got a list of ideas that he'll just run off of me all day long.
We're a mobile flea market.
do
And
the Black
Mobile
Crows
flea
still
market.
have? I know in the '90s I had some Black Crows rolling papers. I don't know if they still make them or.
I don't know. I haven't.
I think
seen
I got a friend that still has some of
That's-
them.
I think
That's so cool. Like, to be honest with you, if any band that has the funding to do something like that, there is a massive market for it, and they are going to be at your show.
But I got to where I couldn't tell if you were actually coming up with genuine merch ideas or if you were just trying to get some free lighters and rolling papers. That would be-
Yeah, keep an eye on me.
doesn't Blackberry
But-
Smoke have a tray or rolling papers or something you can buy from their
Grindr, I
website?
think. Yeah.
Grinder.
Yeah.
Got something. See, I like this. I like the wrestling angle for you guys. I think you need to lean into it.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we do this year. Maybe that's where we invest our time.
I'm all about it. I'm 100% with it.
We're trying to put together a little 3-song EP of some female country songs here real soon. So maybe we'll take that funding and just build us a wrestling ring instead.
Or in the 80s, the WWF did have an album like it had Hulk Hogan and like Junkyard Dog and all these guys
Oh,
perform. Maybe you guys just cover that album, all the
Yeah.
songs from that album, like Real American and all that.
What was that Nitro record CD?
Yeah, they used to have all like later in like the late 90s. 2000s.
WCW.
Yeah, it was like the entrance themes you could get, but back in the 80s, like I would totally cover the song Vince McMahon did, the Stand Back, where he had all the guys playing behind him and he had the dance routine. We should totally cover that.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you even say that because when we first started, Trevor and myself first started the first band, we were in a one-bedroom shack off the river. And we used to, I mean, in our spare time, there was a lot, we learned WWE covers. The Rocks, and his Triple H's. We had, I mean, of course, Stone Cold's is easy. But, yeah, we had that down. We got it
I
down.
took the Rocks rhythm and ripped it and made and wrote a song out of it. That was what was it called?
Was it one of the old ones?
Mm-hmm.
Story.
Yeah, Story of My Life. That's
Yeah.
the Rocks theme song, just sped up.
I never even knew that.
We're learning all the inside stories of all your music. This is great. It's all wrestling themed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
totally.
that's
Cactus
the trick.
Jack. Cactus Jack had the best music.
Yeah, he did.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. He was one of my favorites in like the earlier 90s because I mean, honestly, once Stone Cold came about, man,
It was over.
that had me in the Hardys, and then Triple H turning heel, you know. I mean, dude, that had me. So anything pre-Attitude, Cactus Jack was my dude, if I'm being honest. And then I mean, he had Dude Love and Mankind and
Yeah.
Mick Foley.
Clay, I think you're debating your future in this band at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I might have to turn into a Eric Bischoff or McMahon and just start, peddling these guys out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, myself and Trevor are H-back guys, and so I've been jokingly trying to feed this in. I think it's going to stick, but we're going to be the brothers of construction. And I think Crowder here is going to be our manager,
I'll just
our foreman.
I'll carry
Your
in an
foreman,
outside.
superintendent.
Foreman.
Yeah, the foreman.
Foreman. Oh
All
my
right, I want to
God.
quit.
A traveling wrestling / concert. You have
Southern-
wrestling, and then you guys do the concert afterwards.
Southern Rock Wrestling. And Eric Snoddy, like I mentioned, Blackberry Smoke's merch manager, he promoted some indie fucking wrestling
did.
shows.
That's cool.
Well,
I don't know if y'all are
messed
I
him
don't know
right
if y'all are
now.
familiar with OVW, but OVW is WWE's farm system, and they're right up here in Louisville. That's ran
Yep.
by Al Snow. What does everybody want? He had that pinned. You know, come out with the mannequin head.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah,
a
I
good
don't know why
gimmick.
we don't try to do something with them.
Somebody's got to dress like Sting.
Yeah, well, that's our boy. That's
Show
all.
him.
Oh, you got a
You-
Scorpio
you see
tattoo
that?
on. All right, yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, you're a Scorpio." I'm like, "No, I'm a fucking nerd."
Yeah, I think I was Sting like all of my childhood Halloweens. I can't recall another costume, to be honest.
But like,
I mean, that's a
don't
great costume.
talking about a video. Like a lot of people just shoot them on their phones now. I mean, Jason and I could be like, we're the announcers, and you have some backyard keg party with a wrestling ring, and just get people to come in and volunteer, be the audience and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, it'd be red. Yeah, honestly, you ain't got to convince us. We just need access, is all.
So anybody who's listening to this podcast, one of two things: if you have a wrestling ring or know of a wrestling ring,
Yeah,
contact us or contact the Damn Shames directly through your Instagram. When do you want to be hit up at?
that'll work. Or the Damn Shames Official at gmail.com. Send us a formal email, whatever you want.
Just put topic subject line wrestling ring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will not get missed.
that'll get flagged.
and at the end, you can put, do like the honky tonk man Jeff Jarrett thing and hit somebody with the acoustic guitar.
Yeah,
Love it.
The gimmick, the
Absolutely.
Hopefully, a breakaway one.
Yeah, I don't know how to gimmick an acoustic guitar, but surely somebody would. They could figure it out.
Can they make a balsa wood guitar?
we got.
Well, Chris Jericho has his own band too. Like there's wrestlers that cross
Yeah.
over.
Successful band.
Yeah.
Successful band. Yeah. Successful band.
I mean, anybody can have a band.
Outside of wrestling, ring, music video, and all that stuff, it would be super dope to get into that circuit. There's a lot of fans you can pull from that
Absolutely.
that scene. When you find us an underground wrestling,
Hit your wagons too, literally and figuratively, man. Come on.
right?
We've always wanted to like like work with a wrestler who needed a theme song and like just churn out a theme song for somebody. That's always something we wanted to do too.
That and 007. We've always wanted to write a Bond song.
And
Oh,
NASCAR too. Shit.
Yeah, we're actually watching NASCAR.
Yeah.
It's just on
NASCAR's
the
playing
other
right
channel.
above you.
If you catch our eyes darting up, it's because NASCAR's on.
yeah, yeah. Who's your drivers? Who you guys for?
I don't care enough about it. To
I'm
be
gonna
honest, but
I'm gonna tell you here first, Trevor. Do you want to say you?
Well, I don't. Andrew's the one who actually keeps up with it now. I was
Yeah.
always a Jeff Gordon guy, and of course Dale Earnhardt. But he actually watches the guys now.
little Rusty Wallace, I remember
Yeah,
being a
the,
fan
the
of.
old school guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a dude right now, a kid right now, 23 years old, Carson Hocevar. You're gonna be hearing his name for a long time, and that's my dude right now. This kid is fast. He wrecks everybody, so they just gonna have to get up out of his way. He'll figure it out.
I just watched on Netflix. I don't remember Kyle or Kurt Busch, which one of them had the documentary lately.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that one. I could see where Kurt Busch would have because Kurt just got inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Uh,
Like a
yeah,
30
he's,
for 30 style.
he's a stellar driver, honestly. Both Bushes.
Yeah.
Andrew
And
loves his brother.
the point home that they were driving is like yes, he wasn't like super popular, but he didn't hold his tongue. He'd
No,
like
neither.
wreck people.
Yeah, Kurt and Kyle Busch. That's what they're known for. They're just shit talkers, you know. And I mean, however that becomes. But you know, their radio is always just a shit show. They're yelling, cussing each other. It's funny
Yeah,
we're
I've
talking
seen
about
it on
this because
YouTube.
last week KB's radio was going off, entertaining.
Yeah. Well,
I can see it
another
now, Brian. They're going to hit it big, and they're going to sponsor a car. It's going to be like the damn Shames car. It's a big,
That's
Yeah.
big
that's the
logo
goal.
across
Agree.
of it.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal.
It's a dream.
We'll take out a bank loan.
We don't
and
need we don't need the Grammys. We don't need the Ryman. We don't need all these things. You know that
Just
are.
a car.
We just want a car. Yeah.
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Well, if anybody who's listening who one is a wrestler who's coming up and needs a theme song, or a driver on NASCAR who's coming up needs a theme song or a sponsorship, again, it's the damn shames official at gmail.com or hit up their Instagram.
Well, what else do I
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
Or
Shot in the Dark would make a hell of a intro song.
Yeah, it
if anybody knows Billy Corgan, he owns the NWA. So
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot about that. That is true.
he should totally mesh like music concerts in wrestling events together. How can he not?
Does he not? He
Not
might
that
not.
I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's so rare. Like, you really only seen that when Saliva was working with WWE and stuff like that.
Nickelback was
Yeah,
one time.
Raw's
Yeah.
theme song for a long time.
Yeah.
right.
Well,
But
I
there
think
should be more of that. I completely agree.
I think Goldberg came out to a Megadeth song at some point, Head Crusher,
Oh yeah,
and
I used to love Goldberg.
then Megadeth
Sting.
played like an episode of Nitro or something. He just commented, he goes, "This is just like a rock show." Like the way
Sting's intro music was "Seek and Destroy" by Metallica
Yeah, yep.
for years.
Yeah.
You know what Billy Corgan should do?
The dopest.
Who did?
Edge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say the best theme song ever, as far as the spectacle, the entrance, the whole nine, Edge, with Alter Bridges.
Metalingus.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And all he needed was smoke. Smoke and Metalingus, dude. And he would come running through that smoke.
stole somebody's wife.
Dude. Yeah. He did, didn't he?
Billy Corgan. We're all about ideas, and you know we're good at marketing stuff. So Billy Corgan, I know you're listening. Here's what you need to do when your wrestling events shows up at a town. You need to pick a local band that represents that town, and they should be playing a show either before or after the event. So when you do your Bowling Green, Southern Kentucky one, the Damn Shames are your band.
You come to the diddle.
Diddle Arena. That's the arena we have here.
Diddle Arena, like like
Mhm.
the Diddler. You ever called the Diddler?
No, but we will. It's in there now.
We're going to the Diddler tonight to see a show.
Look at
And it's a good point to like swerve our way back into music. One thing that's really that I'm so impressed with Kentucky is, and if like say like Headhunters, Blackstone Cherry, they're probably the most well known, and Cage the Elephant too. Now, I don't know if Cage the Elephant stayed in Kentucky, but I was always impressed with Headhunters and Blackstone Cherry. They didn't go to move in LA or New York or Nashville.
No,
I
the
know
boys are still here too.
I know that they did a Blackstone Cherry did a record out in LA, but that's just so cool. I mean, no need
Yeah.
to move
Yeah.
anywhere. You don't, the scene is right there.
Sure, like when you find yourself in a position to try different things, make a record in LA or, do some other things like that, absolutely take the opportunity for sure. But yeah, they're all still around here. The Cage Boys are still down here, and Blackstone Cherry's still in Edmonton, and so
Mhm.
is Headhunters. Um,
I mean, truth be told, I mean, I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I wouldn't. I mean, in our little area, we're kind of real close to Tennessee. Tennessee's real
Mhm.
pretty, real nice.
Got that
Um,
great Bucky's right there at the state line.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, so I really couldn't imagine living anywhere else. This is where I hope to die someday, later on.
And now we got to shout out to our sponsors, Bucky's, cleanest bathrooms on the planet. If you got to go to Bucky's.
Our imaginary sponsor, Bucky's and Waffle House, and
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts.
Because
Yeah,
after you eat Waffle House, you're going to have to find a Bucky's to use the bathroom.
Yeah,
for sure.
Are we talking about Pop Tarts later? You brought them up.
Oh,
You want to do it now?
first time guest. We'll save it for the lightning round. Always get the Pop-Tarts question.
Yeah.
Speaking
I
of
have
which, go ahead.
Do you have like a crazy Waffle House story? Narcotics purchase, anybody holding a gun, fight, cops dragging people out? We've heard
I
some
mean, we've
good
seen.
ones.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen. Honestly, just speaking for myself, too many fights. I don't know if I've been to a Waffle House where there ain't a fight and someone getting drugged out in the parking lot.
We've got crazy stories for everywhere.
Also got real tight with a Hell's Angel one time at a Waffle House. It was pretty empty. It was just him and I, and just started shooting the shit about it one day. And I think he let me in on a lot of information he wasn't supposed to.
On the
And you're still alive.
inner workings of Hell's Angels.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
when them eggs getting cooked the way
Yeah,
they do,
they make
it's
you-
hard not
they
to
make you spill your beans, don't they?
Yeah,
Clay,
yeah.
were you at a Waffle House by yourself?
Yeah, yeah, that was a long time ago. And in this instance, yeah, for sure. I don't know what I was doing. I was going somewhere at the time, and it was just me and this fella, maybe another person in the back. I don't know. But we just started chatting it up. He was super nice, super cool dude. I really liked his bike. That's what started it, I think. And he ended up sharing a lot more than he should have, I think.
Those ever make an idea for a song or lyrics?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's always in the noggin.
But I can keep track of this. I have to make a mental note of keeping track of our Waffle House stories because I want to have a whole episode about Waffle House, rock and roll, and Waffle House.
Yeah.
But what are some of them, Jason? Like someone just getting arrested, some band seeing some guy holding a gun.
Yeah, pretty much what you see on the internet.
I'm gonna get crucified for this story, but man, this wasn't nothing violent, and that's what I'm proud of. But man, we had I mean, dude, I was days over, maybe 20. So we were playing this show somewhere in Tennessee, from probably a field party, if I'm being honest. And there was a bunch of girls at the Waffle House whenever we got there. That just so happened to be my last night in Tennessee, y'all. And I got two of the girls started getting flirty and started making out there at the bar, and I got both they bras.
Hey, gun, a waffle, and a bra.
Wait a
Lord,
minute. You can't skip to girls got flirty, they started making out, and you ended up with their bras. There's a lot of stuff in between
in
that.
between.
You would like to think, but it really wasn't.
Let's just say they left smothered and covered.
It really, well, not by me. Not by me. No, they just came off, and then I'm like 20 at the time. I'm like, give me them things.
They came off
Yeah, dude.
in the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Was this a booth or the bar?
Brother, the grill dude's back there like, yeah, dude, and then gives me a high five and stuff. We're just, yeah, I'm not making this.
Probably not the first time you saw somebody give up their bra at a Waffle House,
No.
Yeah, well, that was the only time.
Yeah, you ask it if we got any stories, we seen any fights or stuff at Waffle House. I swear to God, I don't know if I've ever been in one that was calm and chill. I really
We
don't.
went by that one the other day. I told you there was a group of us.
Oh yeah,
We had a beer bottle thrown at the truck on the way out the parking
What?
lot.
yeah.
I know, man. Territory.
You
Kids get real
you
territorial.
gotta want them damn waffles pretty bad because the risk versus reward doesn't even out. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
You were
No,
leaving the
I hear
Waffle
ya.
House parking lot, and you got a bottle thrown at
Yeah.
you?
All right. So, man, do y'all hear that train?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tr-
my ride's here.
We're so sorry.
Train kept a rolling all night long, man.
Hey,
My
we
ride's here.
got trains, we got dogs barking. This is a great podcast.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we hear anymore is
Yeah,
that damn
I swear to
train.
God, and sirens. Um, no, dude. So, I mean, when you're younger, you're out with the boys, and there's a big group of you, and you're in another town, and then the guys from that town, they're like, "What are y'all doing?" Type shit, real stupid stuff, you know.
Yeah.
That's how
I
that came about. That's how
I,
that came about.
I
You
read
asked.
Sebastian Bach's autobiography, whatever. And when he first got into Skid Row, they were out and they were at a White Castle and they got in a fight at White Castle with some other people.
Yeah,
I swear it happens. It's like the stupidest. And then anymore, you never know. You never know where it's gonna go down anymore.
that's a big risk too because if you get hit just right at a White Castle, you're gonna shit your pants.
It's like it's
Sponge
it's
burgers.
inevitable.
Yeah.
It's true. Listen, if you get in a fight at a White Castle, just take the shot in the face. You do not want it in the stomach because you are absolutely shit your pants.
Yeah, you take the shot in the face and you're just gonna hurt your ego. You take the shot in the stomach, you're gonna hurt your ego.
You're gonna need to prepare a pair of
family's
pants.
ego, your town's ego. You're gonna be expelled. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna invite you back. You're gonna
That's
be forever. You're gonna be forever known as the guy who shit his pants in a White Castle on a Wednesday in April.
Oh.
So when you're saying it's never calm at the Waffle House, are all these situations like at 3 a.m, or
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's gotta be.
Probably because I don't know if I've been to a Waffle House
in daylight?
during normal business hours. Yeah,
I bet it's wholesome during the day.
yeah, it's probably great.
Like Christian, family friendly type of place.
That's why I don't really have any crazy stories because I usually take my kid during the day. And it's always packed. The only one I
Good.
have is
Yep.
I was at one in Louisville one night, and I looked over beside me, and there was these holes all in the wall. And I asked the waitress, I'm like, "What happened?" She's like, "Oh, that's from the shooting last night." And I was like, "Oh."
Nonchalantly, just a shooting happens.
Anyway, do you want them eggs well done?
The best All-Star you ever had, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was the best.
I had my birthday party. There was a surprise party held for me at a Waffle House last year.
Well, best birthday ever, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that's really cool.
Fuck
Did
yeah,
you
it
have a
was.
Waffle House cake too.
No, but I was given they made me a name badge for Waffle House. I had a shirt, a Waffle House shirt, a coffee mug. It was great.
That's what I wanted to ask. What do they do in the event of someone's birthday? They don't come out and sing and everything.
They don't.
I wanted to work the grill and they wouldn't let me do that.
Yeah.
I got the
Sacred.
coolest birthday cake one year. It was the dopest. My wonderful old lady actually got this wrestling ring cake. It was like it was
yeah.
black, had WWE on it, had the turnbuckles and the ropes, and that
Yeah.
was the coolest, man.
The lady at the bakery thought she was making it for her 7-year-old kid. and-
Did it have little wrestlers on top of it too?
Yeah.
Like little
Do what?
plastic dudes,
Little
like little
wrestlers.
plastic wrestlers on top.
Yeah. The little ones.
Yeah.
But like that was so cool. I haven't got one like that since.
When Brian and I were growing up, they had the WWF wrestler toys, and they were these big, thick pieces of rubber. They weren't posable. They were all kind of mold in one shake. You could give somebody, actually, I saw a friend give his brother a concussion by hitting him in the head with one of those.
You're talking about they were kind of rubber, like you could
Yes.
LJN style.
Yes, the LJN ones, yes. And they were all in one pose, right? They didn't move. They were like this hard rubber.
Right. Yeah. For sure. Remember the Bastion Brawlers?
Yes.
Dope.
Yeah.
Those were
I
those
loved
were
them.
I'll say one last thing about it, then we can move on. But
No,
I was
won't.
I was real pissed about it one time. I bought a Rikishi from Walmart, and I was like, "Yo, I ain't got a Rikishi yet. I got a Rikishi now." And he had a little thing on his back that they didn't advertise, and all that sumbitch did was bend over and slap his ass with both fucking hands. I was like, man, this sumbitch was $19.
Insult
You
me.
should have advertised that. That thing sells itself.
I couldn't do nothing with it in a cage match. What was I gonna do with him?
That needs to be in your next video.
You
The
don't-
Rikishi?
You ain't got it no more, do
Yeah, slapping his ass.
No,
you? No, it's long gone, I'm afraid.
my mom got rid of all my wrestling
Oh.
stuff. And I was like, yeah, I done moved out of the house and probably about 24, 25 at the time. And then she didn't even ask me. She just told me,
Mm-mm.
which that hurt.
If anybody listening has a Rikishi that slaps his ass,
Please,
the damn shame's official.
please,
That's right.
please,
Yep,
God.
yep.
Yeah.
Or Instagram.
This, you guys are going to get so many spam emails now, I think, from
This is-
this.
Turned into a GoFund us, but for toys and wrestling rings.
I mean, that's not really that bad, is it?
So I think
No,
we've had a
no, no,
successful
no.
podcast.
I think you
Great.
have.
Time well spent.
Wrestling rings, toys, all of it.
Yes.
The biggest name in Kentucky wrestling, Jim Cornette,
Jim Cornette.
Louisville.
We
I
also
love
got,
Jim
we got,
Cornette.
down here in Bowling Green, we have Hillbilly Jim.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does his
Yeah.
own radio show too.
They
Really?
They put in an air unit for
Not
him.
me. Trevor did.
Trevor did.
did. Yeah. it
Yeah, I
wasn't-
used to do his HVAC.
So right now, Hillbilly Jim is
He could
cooling
be in the
his
video.
balls
Yeah.
thanks to Trevor.
He'll come on and kick all your guys' ass.
Yeah.
You and
Yeah.
Mojo Thunder.
And I'd take it too. I'd sell for him.
It-
Hillbilly Jim, I will sell for you.
It's so crazy. Like going into his house, he had his Hall of Fame plaque like laid in the floor by his fireplace, and he's talking about how he just went on like a couple mile run and how he takes these pepper pills now, and like it keeps him healthy, and like he could still like lift his leg up to his like the top of
What?
the door. Like the dude's massive.
That's how Trevor took his payment for the work. He just had him do a few moves on him, show him some things.
That HVAC stuff's expensive too when people come out. That's he got a deal out of that.
Yeah, well worth it though. Yeah.
Totally well worth it.
I'm writing all sorts of notes down that may come back for the lightning round. It's very possible. It's very possible. So I put on our Facebook page today that we were going to interview you guys, and I at least
Shoot
want
the
to
shit
get
with
one.
you.
I at least want to get one question shared. Somebody said, "Hey, even though you just released an album in 2025, when's the next new music coming?"
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know. We've got some new songs we're ready to work up, and need to write some more, to be honest. But it's hard to put a time frame on that because we're doing this on our own. We're budgeting it on our own. We got no corporate overlords helping fund the bill or anything like that, and we want it to be great. We want it to be able to contend with people who have that. We're super proud with the record we put out last year and its quality and its mix. Matt McQueen just did a fantastic job, knocked it out of the park, and we don't want to stray from that. We want it to be that every time. So, we'll take our time with it. I'll be honest, but we absolutely plan to keep putting out music best we can and as soon as we can, and that is 50% of the fun for us, to be frank. So just hang on to your butts is all I'm saying.
However, Crowder did drop a nugget
Oh yeah.
earlier in this episode about new music. So we have a ton of ideas that we want to do, that we're going to do. We do have songs like Crowder said for the new record. However, we want to do something fun and really just fun and kind of bring some music back that not has been forgotten, but just stuff that we just love doing, love playing, love singing. So we do have plans on an EP coming up that we're going to go record next weekend.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've got a few covers that we do live that people really latched onto and have had a good time with. I think we're gonna cut those just to have those out there as well, just to split up releases and stuff like that. But yeah, that's where we're at right now with it.
Think about that
Definitely.
wrestling record, though, the covers of the wrestling
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. For sure.
Who is the raddest person you know, and why is it Alyssa?
Yeah. Why is it Alyssa? She's just she's just the biggest supporter in our corner, from the jump. From the moment she first heard us. Um she travels everywhere to come to shows. She's always
Mhm.
writing just wonderful things about us.
Yeah, like when we first released the album, we worked on it for so long. We were happy with it, but we were like, we still don't know how people are going to take it. You never know. I remember, like, we just released it and people were liking it and saying good things, but like, she wrote this review and it was just so, not to be lame, but it was moving. It was like, wow, somebody listened to this work we just put in and had this to say about it. And that was the first time I'd really, I think, like, noticed her on social media, and then getting to meet her and everything. Ever since then, the support's just been amazing from her. She's the best.
Well, she got it.
Yeah, 100%. That was what I was gonna say.
Every single detail. We almost beat ideas to death. Wring them out like a wet rag, and then go at it again. And there's so many minute details that are the biggest things to us that 98% of the consumer will never hear and never give a second thought to. And she got all that. Without ever meeting her, she just was able to listen, and her understanding and comprehension of what we were shooting for and what we did and created. It was awesome to hear somebody acknowledge all that.
It just justifies the work, you know, that it was worth it. That little thing that we fought about, that we beat each other up about for a day and a half, it was worth it. Somebody heard it.
Lissa is our official, unofficial third co-host sometimes.
Yeah, she should be on here with you guys.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
she is incredible, and her knowledge for the way that she can keep her finger on the pulse of this particular genre and bands around this region. And I tell you what, she was maybe the first person that I really ever met where somebody had told me, yeah, well, she told me about you guys, and anything that she says, I'll listen to.
yeah,
You know?
100%. Yeah, that review she did on us did a lot of wonders for us too. Got us a lot of attention from other people or people who maybe heard about us, but you know didn't have the bandwidth to dive in. There's so much stuff out there right now that justified their time to hop in and give us a listen and got us shows out of it. We got attached to some festivals this year because of it. So we're super grateful to her.
She's awesome. We
Lucky
love
for
her, and she is our official sister.
And she can slide you the balsa wood acoustic guitar that you hit the guys in Mojo Thunder with.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
She can be the manager.
He's your valet.
Yeah.
Manager
Yeah,
valet.
I mean, she's always fighting tooth and nail for us too. We see every day she's hopping in on somebody's, post on Facebook or Instagram and vouching for us, above everyone else.
She's also thrown us your name at the same time.
Yeah,
She could be your Elizabeth to your Macho Man.
yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah.
that sounds good.
All right, last fan question. Sorry. We're gonna make you guys fight over this. Who has the best hair in the band?
And that was asked by David Erickson from Van Winkle and the Spirits.
Brian is rocking the hat.
It's well, I think we all have great normal hair. Trevor's got this unnatural thickness. It's just it don't it almost looks like
Excuse me?
like it's yeah, hair, the hair on his head. It's almost like it's sewn in, like a wig. It don't make no sense.
Like extensions, right? Like when the girls get those extensions to make their hair look more full.
Right. Yeah.
I got a mullet haircut like 2 years ago, and I wanted to do a perm.
So sorry.
So I got this mullet haircut, and I wanted to do a perm with it. And the lady who did it, she was like, "I love doing perms." She was like, "But we just put more rollers in your hair than any woman I've ever done." I'm so sorry. I'm over here dealing with it right now. It's like I'm just pouring sweat because of it. It's not a good thing.
And I just missed the perfect opportunity for a "that's what she said"
Yeah,
instead of saying. And
yeah.
I'm going to tell my wife after because she's the queen of "that's what she said," and
I just
I
I
biffed
walked
it.
right into that one too. I didn't even pick up on it till you said something.
That's what she said.
Trevor's just girthy. I don't know.
I wish. Just with the hair.
Trevor's got that girthy hair.
Trevor's got that girthy hair. Man, that is maybe that's your wrestling catchphrase. You're like, I don't know, the man of girth.
Yeah,
The man of girth.
Girth Brooks.
Girth Brooks. Did somebody say Girth Brooks?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's
not
Now
Stacy's
mine.
porn name.
It's not my porn name.
What is it?
I can't listen. If you didn't watch me in my original years doing that, and you're not hearing it now, so you have to find out on your own. That's what the internet's for.
Right.
Maybe we should talk about gear. Let's get some guitars, some amps, pedals.
Yeah. What do you guys playing on stage right now?
Right now, Trevor and I are using a couple of Dr. Z amps that were gifted to us from a buddy of ours, Mr. Kyle Daniel. You might know him too. He
I've heard the name, yeah.
put out a hell of a record last
Dr.
year.
Z amps.
Yep, Dr. Z amps. So I'm using a Zelux, and Trevor's using a Maz 18, I believe. And then I've got a board with some standard run-of-the-mill pedals. Just a comp and a tuner, and a Lightspeed, a Greer Lightspeed is my go-to for the gain, the higher gain.
Got a Greer t-shirt. Our friend um, Garrett Holloway from the Dirty Gospel. He lives in Knoxville. He
Yeah, we
works
love
in them.
Garrett.
Yeah,
Love
Yeah.
Garrett.
we just hung out with him the other day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's
And
cut.
what's your guitar choice on stage there, Clay?
I got a 2022 Gibson Custom Shop Trini Lopez.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It is in a drab green. Olive
Okay.
drab green. It's like my favorite color of all time.
He got bullied into
I
it.
got bullied into that one
Yeah.
though. It was really expensive, and
Andrew, was that you bullying him?
No.
him and Matt,
No.
making the record. Yeah, it was just stupid expensive, and I don't like to drop money like that. But it coaxed me into it. Someone calls me a pussy, I just have to do it. You know what I mean? And that's just the law of the land. I don't make those rules.
Is the Epiphone Dave Grohl signature basically the same thing?
Yeah,
It's similar.
100%. Yep. That's what it is. He uses a Trini, but now
Yeah.
they make his own version of it. But
Yep.
then I've got a 2001 Les Paul Special with P90s in it. And I'll bounce back and forth between those two. Trevor's running an SG at the moment, and a a core model PRS that you'll switch over to from time to time.
Yeah, it's an S2 actually,
Oh, okay.
but I think it was made in USA. I can't remember. Mainly the SG, and then I have the Tonex, which I'll use on like certain shows. I'll run the Tonex and the Helix together with the Line 6 power cab if I'm not using the Dr. Z. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a couple of different rigs depending on the gig. We're also a big fan of profilers and modelers too. I know
Mm.
most bands you talk to, or a lot of them are purist, and we love real amps, but we also love convenience.
They're heavy. That
Yeah.
they break. Are you running those straight to a PA, or you got an amp set up where you're running them through the cab
Typically
cab or
have an
something?
amp. We typically have
Yeah.
an amp set up, but we'll run them straight to the PA too if it's
Right.
necessary. It all depends on the gig we're playing. So if it's better to have your whole rig on your back, and just run straight in, that's what we'll do. If we can afford to pull out the amps and get loud, that's the route we'll take.
But like, if we're running profilers or modelers, we'll still have some type of on-stage cab.
Yeah.
Just
Amp
for
cab. Yep.
us.
Yep.
but it's always going front of the house. And like
Okay.
we'll set our profilers and modelers up to where it's got EQ, it's got compression,
Mm-hmm.
it's already got the right highs and low, cuts that we want. By the time it hits front of the house, hopefully we have a good sound engineer, which we've been very fortunate. Shout out to all the sound engineers out there. They love it. Usually they're happy about it, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's gonna be a night off." And you hear videos back, the crowd doesn't know.
No.
I mean, I don't care what
Are you
anyone
running directly from the modeler then to the soundboard, and then you're just running another line to the amp so you're hearing it?
Yeah,
Okay.
which they can push so much through wedges or your ears. I feel like because there's not a microphone
Yeah.
space and then
Yep.
an amp, so they can push so much through a monitor with just a
Mm-hmm.
line feed. I feel like.
Yeah, it's super beneficial in specific scenarios. We'll always keep them around and go back and forth depending on what we need.
And they can sound like shit really fast. Like I'm not arguing with that, the whole digital thing, but there's ways around that.
Oh, the technology's getting better and better though, man. I know a lot of people who go to those like big names. You might be surprised to hear, like they're just you you go with the technology and what sets what you're trying to do at the time.
I'm super interested in getting one of those new stadiums, the Helix stadiums, um, switching over to that.
I mean, AI has been integrated with it now, so it's like,
Yeah.
what can you do? You can't argue with that.
Yeah, it sounds like Helix and the Fender ones seem to be the two most popular.
Hmm.
Yeah, that and the Quad Cortex gets a lot of love.
Quad Cortex does.
Especially
Yep,
from
yep, yep.
metal guys. I feel like a lot of metal guys like that. Who was the band that released the impulse response on the Quad Cortex?
Gojira.
Gojira. We even used Gojira on some of our stuff on the album. Matt used it. He just
Really?
turned the gain
That's
down.
way heavy.
Way heavy, but he put it on like a crunch sound, and something about that Gojira preset people go bonkers for.
Huh.
Quad and neural.
Yeah, we just played with John Mayer's new. He released his his deck of cards through, was it Neural DSP? And we downloaded it for a free trial or whatever, and sitting here and played with it for a whole day. But we love all that stuff. We're not stuck to one thing in particular. We'll try anything.
And it's a lot more affordable too than buying a bunch of different amps, a bunch of different pedals and everything else. No, the good ones are very expensive, but in the long run, you have so much variety and you're not buying all that gear and then you don't have all that gear sitting around.
Once you get that some bitch dialed in right, now you got yourself a template too that you can just copy over and then make different patches, but you got 50%, 60% of the workload done as well. So I don't know. It's just been, I've had, my times back and forth where I hate it and then go back to a real amp and then go back to the Helix and back and forth like that. But I don't know. I'll always have one from now on.
Yeah.
They're
I just use a Tech
well,
21 Sans amp. Like I have a orange amp and this pedal, it's great. Like I found out because Richie Kotzen actually has his own model of one. Anyway, it's got a kind of a blonde amp setting you can do. You can do like more of your Marshall Plexi on it. It has delay, reverb, boost on it, and a tuner. It's like it's it's pretty cool. Pretty
yeah,
easy. Tiny too.
they're a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, talk about your bass rig because we didn't get to you.
That's all good, man. It's funny. So I really haven't been playing bass that long. So as far as like finding a bass amp, finding a bass tone, I started from scratch. Uh, and in saying that, I still think I'm always looking for how to improve it, and I don't think I'll ever be satisfied. But um, it, ever since I started playing bass, I had like a dream rig of having a Ampeg vintage reissue. Um, finally was able, finally had the opportunity to get it, so I got the VR and the 810 with it, and since then I've scaled down to a 410. But I love that amp, and like them, I've went to Helix and came back to the amp, and now I have a Tone X so I can profile. But if I'm being honest, it's funny because you're kind of thinking, oh, you could definitely find a good bass tone, out of the digital stuff, and you absolutely can. But I haven't found anything, and I bought the packs, but I haven't found anything that matches my amp, you know. So I'm gonna go back to carrying that around. Just heads up, but
Not the refrigerator though, yeah.
no, yeah, we're gonna keep the 410, yeah. But yeah, I
Those
mean
those
and
bass
the
amps are
head,
heavy.
the head is heavier than the cab, you know. It really, I mean, pretty close to it anyway. But yeah, dude, it's going for a flight rig. The Tone X would be perfect, you know, and I'll use it as such. But as long as we're driving, man, that head's going with me, I think. But as far as the bass goes, man, I gotta keep it pretty simple. It's just a PJ, a Fender PJ right now.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
like that. I like that. I don't use the
Yeah.
jazz pickup as much, but the P pickups, I'm a fool for.
I mean,
Sound
classic
great.
sound. You can't really go wrong. What do you think, Brian? You're the bass guy.
Yeah, no, that's, like I said, in rock and roll, it's pretty much P bass or J bass,
It is.
you
Yeah.
pretty much can't, you know, especially the P bass for rock and roll. It's like that's just it.
So I'm still, I know like in the old days it was just guitar, cable, amp, and since then you know, in music everybody's integrated pedal boards. So as far as the pedal board itself, I'm still finding things that I want to do differently. I would like to add a preamp pedal. Last night I seen a feller who had it was a tube compressor that was an opto compressor, and he was like it gives it all the warmth and stuff that I'm actually looking for in my tone. So it looks like I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more money to get what's in my head. But the pedal board is, oh man, you can have a great tone and that pedal board will slick ruin it. So figuring that out's been tough, but I'm getting there. You know.
It's always
When,
always more, more, more. You never have.
always, always. Well, once you get that sweet WWE money for, playing the shows on the circuit,
That's right. I'll
it's gonna
have it.
come true.
Which is why I think for the money, especially if you want to try out like or versions of effects that you don't have the money to purchase, the Line 6 HX effects is, in my opinion, the way to go. It's what I use. It's what I always will use.
Hmm.
Analog pedals in the studio are cool, but I mean I can have pages of different effects, and it's just
That's right.
and I'm so used to the Helix platform that getting that, going back to that was really easy. So if anybody's wanting, you get three nice pedals, you're going to spend $500. Why not just buy a
Hmm.
Line 6 HX effects and have and the control over the effects you don't get in a normal analog pedal. That's why I love it so much.
Yeah, I mean, anymore, a good guitar pedal is $389 to $400.
Yeah, it's
You
crazy.
know, it is insane. It is. We're a long ways away from the $100 Boss pedals we used to buy.
Hmm.
That's nothing wrong with that, but it's just with the quality of the boutique pedals coming out now, it's hard to compete.
And these
Especially
fucking YouTubers driving up the market.
YouTubers. You try a pedal in the store, you bring it home, and sometimes it doesn't sound the same, and it's like you regret the buy.
Hmm.
Do you guys know about the whole Bad Monkey situation? Did you hear about that happening like maybe a year ago? I don't
No.
remember the YouTube channel, but he actually makes, he might be JHS pedals. The guy, he's got a great YouTube channel, but he tried a Bad Monkey, and it was beside what's the one John Mayer has that's so expensive, the overdrive pedal,
The clone.
the the Klein. He put it
Yeah.
beside one, and he made it sound so similar that the price of these Bad Monkeys that used to be cheap, I think Digitech might make them, they skyrocketed on Reverb all
Oh,
because of the YouTube video.
son of a bitch.
That's
Some
fucking kidding.
secrets are better left being kept. You
And
know,
you know what? That's a damn shame.
It
it
sure
is a
is.
damn shame.
It sure is.
On that note, Jason is at that time of the show.
Well, gentlemen, obviously you're familiar with the show because we've already preempted the Pop Tart conversation. You guys are willing to stick around a couple extra minutes and answer some stupid questions, and maybe Pop Tarts are involved.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Like we haven't talked about stupid stuff already. All right. Couple things you guys said. I'm going to go back to. You said you guys said you'd love to be able to do a Bond theme song. All of you answer individually. What is your favorite Bond theme song by who? By which artist?
Mm. Yeah.
Dude, this is a hard one.
It is a hard one. There's great
I've got
ones.
I've got it is I think it's a random one or a less popular one probably, but I really love Jack White and Alicia Keys what they did for Quantum of Solace.
I'm not
I'm a
mad at
huge
that.
Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig is the Bond
Yeah.
in my eyes. I'm old enough that I've had several Bonds in my life, but I just nobody did it like Daniel Craig in my opinion. I love Pierce Brosnan and I love Sean Connery, of course. But
Why are you gonna leave out the
and then
best
for
fucking
Roger
Bond?
Moore?
Thank you, man.
Yes. Come on, Andrew.
Yep.
I got you.
Dude,
I
he's
got
like-
you.
I do not get it, but like Roger Moore, Sean Connery, as great as he was, looked like
I thought
he could look like
I
a
thought
killer.
your favorite was Timothy Dalton.
Get the fuck out.
Timothy
of
Dalton's great too. He did 2 very good dark Bond movies. I don't think he gets enough
You
credit.
did like
I
those?
remember. I thought I
I
remembered
did,
your,
yeah.
I thought I remember your favorite being a really unpopular opinion, and I thought it was Timothy Dalton.
It's funny that
No,
we all have different.
That's worse.
We all have different bonds. Andrew was. You probably like it more than any of us. Like the whole everything.
I used to have them all. Yeah.
I had 007 GoldenEye on 64 as a kid, and that's what introduced
Mm-hmm.
me to it. And then my parents bought me the VHS for Die Another Day,
Mhm.
which has
That's
Pierce
the one
Brosnan.
Madonna, I think, did the theme song to that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good one.
I love that. And then
That's the last Brosnan one.
Halle Berry being in it.
Oh
she was
yeah,
great.
that always helps.
The villain was awesome.
Yep.
So the soundtrack for that's what I was looking up on my phone. Probably that, because I don't know enough about the other ones to be able to say.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I threw out the Jack White and Alicia Keys one, but Adele's fucking Skyfall
phenomenal.
is just
Oh
That was-
yeah, that's a good, I mean, come on.
unbeatable.
It's hard. Well, here's the thing. It's hard to not have a recency bias, but that was
Yeah.
so stellar that it's
Yeah,
that has to
that's
be.
yeah,
like
for sure. I think
top
that's
I
what
mean, there's been great ones, great modern ones. Yeah, you guys named a lot. Garbage had a really good one. Who else?
there's a game coming out, a 007 video game coming out, and they just released the opening credits for it, and it's Lana Del Rey, and it's really great
Oh,
too.
yeah. Chris Cornell did a good one.
Yeah, he did.
What's y'all's favorite Bond movie?
Brian, I'll let you go
This
on
is
that
the
one.
question that makes or breaks, boys. What's your favorite Bond movie?
Anything with Roger Moore.
Yeah, thank you.
For Your Eyes Only.
Dude, that's a good one.
It's a
Honestly,
good one. It's not
my
way out there
favorite-
with everything. The scheme, it's believable.
But what one had I had the little Matchbox car of the car that went underwater, and
The submarine,
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't remember what the
that
name of that.
the white one, right?
Yep,
yeah,
kinda
yep.
looked,
the Lotus. It was a Lotus.
the Lotus. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah. Bonus
that was
point.
For Your Eyes Only, I think.
It was. Yes, it was.
Yeah. Mhm.
Sheena
Yeah, that was a
Easton.
cool movie.
Sheena Easton did the theme song. Come on,
My favorite one was Octopussy.
that's a good one too. That came out after that one.
I
Yeah.
think mine would be Goldfinger, just because that's how I was introduced
I love
as a kid.
Gunslinger too.
All right, Clay, I'm going to ask you this question about Goldfinger. The theme song. Two guys from a legendary rock band performed on that track in the studio before they were in the band. Can you name the artist in the band? And it's Shirley Bassey, I think, was the singer, but
No, you can't Google it. They don't.
guys, Google it. That's all right. Google it.
I sure
It's fine.
don't. I sure don't. So it was somebody, two very famous musicians before they were big.
They
before-
were in a band together, a legendary band, a legendary rock god band, a
Zeppelin?
band. What's that?
Zeppelin,
Zeppelin, correct? Which
Really?
were the two? Yes.
Page, and John Paul Jones.
JPJ.
That's correct. That's correct. They were, yeah.
I knew they did a lot of stuff. I just watched that documentary recently.
Becoming Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, and I knew that they had their fingers in a lot of things before Zeppelin, but I didn't hear about that one.
They did. They're
That's
on it.
dope.
That is.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
great question. I'm glad you guys mentioned Bond stuff earlier on.
The dream car is an Aston Martin though. And actually, fun fact, here in Bowling Green we see Corvettes more than anything. It's home of the
Of course,
Corvette.
because you get the Corvette factory and museum
Sure.
and all that.
And then you see all kind of like Bel Airs and like old school, super cool cars. Seen my first Aston Martin in town the other day.
Oh hell!
It wasn't an old one. It was one of the new, the hybrid,
Well, I love
Interesting.
rear
What
engine
model
cars
was in
there.
Die Another Day?
That wasn't the DBX? That was the Vanquish something. Wasn't it?
Vanquish.
Yeah,
Yes, the
the
Vanquish
Vanquish was
was
super
rad.
sick.
That was the one with the stealth technology where it
Yeah.
goes invisible. Yeah.
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 Yep.
Huh.
That's a
Cool.
rad.
Love,
That's
I'm a
if
big Bond guy. Love it.
if I ever had money, like that's just what it would be, just Bond memorabilia. Would probably skimp out on some light bills to pay the Bond memorabilia bill. I'm being
I hope
honest.
one day that the Damn Shames do make a theme song for a Bond movie. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
It'd be fun to
Yeah.
to fuck with just on our own, regardless.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know?
Maybe you
Uh,
should. Maybe
yeah.
maybe you should be like, we're gonna introduce a new song tonight. We're hoping this becomes on a Bond soundtrack one day. Here you go.
Because I love there's certain rules in place you got to follow. You know, it's got to have that famous
Surf
little
guitar.
tinge.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's got to have the fuck.
Like the horns?
Yeah, it's got
Yeah, but it's gotta have a certain progression. It's
Yeah.
gotta be in there somewhere. It can be
Yeah.
whatever you want, instrument wise, but it's gotta
It's
be
gotta
in
have
there.
that callback.
It's gotta end. The
Yeah.
song has to end with the little chime.
Yeah.
I think our closest opportunity of getting to do a Bond film would be if we created a alternative James Bond and just made him like the worst at everything,
Yeah,
but he was still an MI6
like
agent.
Naked Gun. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leslie-
right?
Just the worst. This like my man can't even walk straight.
Yeah.
And then like, but we can do a theme song for him. I
Yeah.
think that would be more fitting.
What is it?
The
Mr. Magoo?
anti-Bond.
The cool thing is, like, we have these crazy dumb ideas all the time, but like we're fortunate because Andrew actually does like the songs that we record with Matt. We always demo them at home first, just to get a a structure, somewhat idea of the song. So like we have these crazy ideas. We have the ability to like actually do it. We probably
You should. Come on. That would make a great. Think of the music video you guys could shoot for that.
Yeah,
Now we got two
Yeah, a lot of-
videos.
a lot of
Now we have 2 videos.
gunplay, a lot of titties.
I mean, who doesn't like gunplay and titties? I do.
So are we talking about like a redneck James Bond? Gonna
I
be
think
hillbilly
we are.
James Bond?
Yeah,
we can go with that
I
route.
think we are.
Yep.
Jimmy,
James
Jimmy
Bourbon Bond. That could be Kentucky based.
Yeah,
Jim Beam Bond.
yeah, and he drives.
James Beam Bond. Come on.
Yeah, and he
JBB.
He drives a Pontiac Sunfire.
Just-
Two-tone
And he-
doors a different color.
and it can be like .008, like the legal limit or something like that, instead of 007. Come on.
There you go, let's go.
Damn it. Brian, I always have these good ideas. I should have gone into marketing or something cooler.
Well, let's
Nobody's
just,
mentioned A View to a Kill as the best
Hey,
soundtrack.
Duran Duran,
Oh yeah.
Christopher Walken, Grace Jones. All good. Let's switch gears from Bond. Let's oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If someone said you have to cover one of the theme track
question.
songs, what would you pick
Mm.
of any Bond movie?
Mm,
It'd have to be more of a rocking one, I would think.
yeah,
Yeah, without
I
a
think the
doubt,
Jack White
without
and
a
Alicia
doubt.
Keys one would be a good way to go.
What if you took Skyfall and kind of sped it up and done your own thing with
Like
it?
a rock version?
Yeah, because I don't know, man. That song, the melody is just
Yeah.
it's crazy good.
I think you guys could do it. I think Clay's got the pipes.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun to dive into and see if we meet that. We got that guy in Nashville who does horn section.
See? You had the 6-piece horns on your album.
Half the work's done. So
All right. Before you guys are allowed to come back on this podcast, 2 things have to happen.
oh shit.
You got to figure out a cover of an existing Bond theme song, and you have to come up with your own.
Fair enough.
Homework. This is why I
Homework.
dropped out of school.
Homework. Let's go to wrestling. You guys were talking about wrestling. That was a lot of fun. Each of you have to come up with your own wrestling name.
Mm.
We got Big Girthy over here, or Girth Brooks, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'll go with that just because of the comedy. I could lean into that because you think it's a sexual innuendo, but it couldn't be farther from the truth. And you got to play on that because I got to be in trunks. I mean, they're gonna see he's not.
You're gonna have to take that cucumber and wrap it in foil and throw it down your pants, man.
Or the old Shawn Michaels, where he stuffed his drawers.
Yeah, yeah. That would be that's where I'd get my name. It would be like Captain Short Dong or something.
I don't even know, man.
And I'd come in on a fashioned yacht that's in the shape of my wiener, like Austin Powers, like the whole the whole spaceship that looks like
That would give the whole new term, a whole new name, dinghy, right?
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Not to go back to it because I want to. I didn't watch Austin Powers for a very long time because I felt the disrespect that they was giving to Bond, and I did not appreciate it. But I love him now.
And I think I think it helped Bond a little bit that time. I don't think there was a lot of Bond stuff going on when the first Austin Powers came out.
Yeah.
It also, I did read this, Andrew. It made them realize that's how they ended up getting Daniel Craig. They wanted to do something really serious and like grounded because of the kind of the Austin Powers spoof. So that leaned them to your favorite Bond.
Probably changed their trajectory of where they were
Yes,
going. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, and I
Worth
can appreciate that.
Yeah.
But my toes were stepped on.
You took that personally, I could tell.
Yeah.
He's still pissed. All right. If the damn Shames had to create a Royal Rumble of Kentucky bands to all get in the ring, a 20-man or whatever, you guys can create it. One, which other bands would you choose? And two, who would be the last man standing?
Well,
Is it team based? Like, I know the Royal Rumble is every man for
Is
himself.
individually, but let's make this team based just for
So, like
ease.
Survivor Series?
Like, yeah.
team based like band based.
So it'd be more like Dusty Rhodes was the inventor of War Games, which they brought back.
Last man standing in the ring, but you got like 20 people starting.
Yeah.
I mean, we
All
got to
right.
put Mojo in there.
So, if it's us and it's Mojo and we'll say Otis, and Josephine,
Otis, yeah.
and BSC
Older guys? We should probably pick older Kentucky bands,
and
so we got a better chance of
You,
winning.
you got a better chance. That's right. Pick
Yeah,
on the
that is-
elderly. I see it. That's a good. I mean, it's a good strategy.
I won't want to say he's old because he's not old. He's still a young man. But I'd make John King get Sixth Floor back together, just because that'd be the most entertaining.
yeah.
Yeah, well, they used to have Royal Rumbles in the bars they used to play at, from the stories I heard.
Hey, you put BSC in there, the heads, you put Sturgill in there, and then as soon as that bell rings, I'm whooping their ass.
Well, Sturgill has his own wrestling name now too, Johnny Blue Skies or whatever.
Yep.
We're winning it. We're the last man standing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Richard Young would just hit you with his cans of Michelob Ultra, the blue tall. Richard, I swear, he's got like a beer roadie on the side of the stage because every once in a while you see like a beer set out on the stage.
Chewing on a
Or
cigar.
he'd bounce one of them fucking cigars off of Andrew's forehead, right off the rip.
Did I take it?
I bet Fred Young, which he's the drummer,
Yeah,
whoop a man's ass. to
Yeah,
this
he
day.
would.
I think he's got that old man strength probably, and just the wiles of being alive.
The last time we were at the practice house, we were hanging out with Richard, and Fred was doing some farming. He was on his tractor, and I could it might have been a Ford, but I feel like it was an old Massey Ferguson because I was so mind blown. Like, that thing's still running and running good, but he stops and he talks to us and he pulls out. He's got a thing of what was it called? Mammoth Cave Twist, which is chewing tobacco.
That's the first kind I ever had.
Mammoth Cave.
Yeah, he asked me. He's like, "You want a plug?" And I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
So I sit there and chewed some Mammoth Cave Twist with Fred Young for a minute. I wouldn't want to put them in the Royal Rumble now that I'm thinking about it.
What's funny is to get that tractor started, he had it, I can't remember the process. It was like a 3-thing process. He had to hook the battery up, start the tractor, unhook that battery, and then put it somewhere else, hook it up, and then he could finally get the tractor going. It was the damnedest thing I've ever seen.
An antique.
Yeah.
A
Fred
classic
Young whooped
tractor.
a man's ass. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think hands down,
So
he's one to watch.
we'd put in Mojo Thunder, Josephine's, Otis, Blackstone Cherry.
And then
The
honestly,
headhunters, and then just let the headhunters whip all of our asses.
yeah, John. I feel like John Fred got that. He got that strength you just don't know about until you get in there with him. So we
Uh-huh.
probably might have to gang up on him, get
He'll
him
just
out of there.
he'll just make you stand by his drums and you'll get hit by fucking
Yeah,
stick
I know. If he
shrapnel.
comes in with sticks, I'm out.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, yeah. He ain't bouncing off my head. Nope.
Hiding those in his trunks.
Yeah.
No.
There you go.
I don't know, the
So
Blackstone
we're
Cherry guys like Ben and Steve, those guys work out like mofos, man. You
Yeah.
might mess with them.
Yeah. We ain't fucking lifted nothing but a Chef Boyardee can in the last 10 years. So.
12-ounce
I
curls,
think,
baby.
I mean, I think that the Kentucky Headhunters win it. I'm pretty sure if you guys throw them in there, I think they got it. They got the, the strategy and just, the age and the wisdom that comes with that, and just the old dude farming strength.
Yep,
Yeah,
100%.
right.
And,
Right.
and
It's not
Hillbilly
about
Jim
how
would
much of
Hillbilly
that-
Jim would be the most likely to team with them. The
Yeah.
Hillbilly Jim's the headhunter's secret weapon.
Pulls a run in. Yeah, we got Hillbilly Jim running in, and they would win by. They would cheat with Hillbilly Jim, but they'd still win. So that's the last guy standing.
All right. We have two last questions for you guys. They're all individual questions. We're going to do the Pop-Tart one. It's a two-part question, so you know what I'm going to ask. What is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart? Number one, and number two, what would be the worst flavor of Pop-Tart you can imagine? We're going to go left to right. So Trevor, we're going to start with you, then go to Clay, then go to Andrew.
Ironically, I just had a Pop-Tart debate the other day, and we were trying to figure out what the first one invented was, and
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was the wild berry, like
It
the
was
purple.
unfrosted.
No.
Well,
The first Pop Tart was unfrosted. There's a whole movie about it.
I like the
Really?
wild berry.
Yeah, it's called Unfrosted on Netflix. It's fucking
Oh
hilarious.
shit. I'm
It's
watching
bet-
it.
It's
Yes,
between Post
but
and
The shit inside is strawberry.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I'm gonna go with
You have
the
to Google
wild
it.
berry or the peanut butter one, which wasn't released until like I don't know. I think I was in high school. But as far as a bad one, I don't know if there's a bad one.
I mean, make up the worst flavor you could possibly imagine. If you could make your own concoction.
Oh, it'd be cucumber flavored.
Yeah. Yeah, no joke. So obviously cherry. Cherry is where it's at.
Cherry frosted or
Yes.
unfrosted?
Always frosted.
Yeah,
of
cherry
course.
frosted
I'm
solid.
not fucking psycho. I would like to throw in though an honorable mention because back in the day, back when the Spider-Man movie was first coming out in 2002, they had a little special promotional wild berry version with the web frosting on it, and that, if it was a typical everyday flavor, would be the winning flavor. But I digress. Worst fucking flavor of a Pop-Tart would be anything pickles related.
Ooh, pickles.
Pickle
I don't
Pop-Tart?
think we got to worry about that.
Get out of here.
Pickle
Or
pop.
cucumber.
Pickle
Cucumber
relish?
You are killing me with that.
Oh God, biting the one with just relish.
Andrew loves cucumbers because he loves to eat just raw watermelon rind. This guy will cut the red off of the watermelon and eat the rind, and thinks it's refreshing.
I don't do that.
He
Oh
might as
my
well.
God.
He might as well because he eats cucumbers.
I don't do that. I do eat cucumbers.
Well, Andrew,
Yeah,
give us your favorite flavor and what would be your worst concoction you can imagine.
So the one my favorite, I don't even think they make no more. They was promoting the wild thornberries and then had a good one out of that. But if I'm being honest, man, the OG, the fucking brown sugar and cinnamon. And, I
Brown
don't-
sugar cinnamon also. Oh, good call on
worst-
that one. Yeah.
The worst one, it is very easy for me. The s'mores. That shit tastes like ass.
Ugh.
It's garbage.
It is garbage.
It's
But
garbage.
make us a terrible flavor one.
Sauerkraut and wieners
Fuck.
with the fucking grease juice drizzled on top. It's terrible.
Grease
Yeah.
juice.
Grease cheese.
Dude, let me tell you something.
You imagine
Fiddle frosting.
There was really only two things I hated more when I would go up in Granny's house, and one of them being the salmon patties. I wasn't a big fish eater.
and the other one being with her sleeping with a
Fucking-
neighbor.
I didn't mind that, but when she cooking sauerkraut and wieners, I had a problem. You know, because that meant I'm eating Pop Tarts.
With grease
Oh.
juice.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to hear more about Granny next time because I caught what Clay threw out of there real fast.
Two things I hated the worst about going to Memos. One's I'd have to eat Pop-Tarts. Two's when she'd have the neighbor over and Papa wasn't around.
Oh boy. Oh boy, Granny,
Only in Kentucky.
Granny getting after it. All right, last question again for you guys to answer individually. I need to know, Brian and I want to know what is a guilty pleasure or music song or artist or something we'd be surprised to find out you like. And let's go the opposite direction this time. Let's start with Andrew and then go Clay, then go Trevor.
My guilty pleasure is like a pop R&B. Um, so like any kind of
Like
college.
modern, older, specific
Yeah,
era.
I mean modern specifically. Um, big time like I love the smooth like they're not even lo-fi beats, but it's just kind of like a they market it as R&B these days. It's not necessarily that, but it's like pop with not necessarily like techno, but it's like I don't know. It's not what we do, you
Well,
know.
name an
Or
artist or a song then that would give us that
yeah,
idea.
for sure. His name's Khalid.
Oh,
KB
like D was
KH.
that like DJ? Wasn't he DJ Khaled at one
No, no,
point?
Not
no,
No.
no.
DJ.
Khalid. I'm
Oh,
saying, I think.
all
Well, it's
right.
with one eye, so who really
I think it's
knows?
pronounced Khalid, but
But he released a record called Free Spirit in
yeah,
2020 that was just phenomenal.
so good. Had me in a
Um,
chokehold.
but I mean
Really?
stuff like that, and that whole and John Mayer's on that record too. But
Huh.
that album was so good. Silk Sonic. I don't know if y'all caught that, but that was Bruno Mars and Anderson Paak getting together and doing like some Motown hits. That was phenomenal. Anything Bruno does is stellar.
He's a very talented dude.
Yeah, yeah. There's the mind frame and how you even come up with some of the things that they come up with is incredible. They understand music in a whole nother level of most people, you know.
All right. I noted
Yeah,
that. Clay, what you got?
I don't know if this qualifies as a guilty pleasure because I got no qualms with telling
Right.
people how much I love this record. But Miley Cyrus's Plastic Hearts record
There we go.
that come out in like 21.
Sh-
What
I
an
mean,
absolute banger
she's
of a
very
fucking
talented. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to love
from
her stuff. She's super talented.
from start to finish is incredible. Now I think the guilty pleasure part comes into play because like she's singing about um you know her boyfriends or whatever, and it's just maybe a little weird for a 36-year-old straight man to be jamming to it in the car with the windows down when he comes up to a stoplight. But man, is it such a fucking bop of a record all the way through too. It's got that 80s vibe. She went hard on into the 80s vibe, the real
Mm-hmm.
blondie,
Mm-hmm.
Joan Jett.
She should do a rock record. She would knock it out of the park. Like
Yeah,
straight up rock.
yeah. What I think that's probably my favorite thing about that record is how it's rock, but it's still got uh like the production, the drum beat production of like a pop record. Um, but it's so good. That album still comes around from every now and again.
Yeah. My
Trevor,
daughter's a big Miley Cyrus fan. Man, The Climb's still a great jam, you know. That's come on for like a pop ballad,
oh,
like come on.
Sabrina Carpenter's doing that for me too now, even though I can't necessarily relate to her lyrics, but the record is phenomenal. Trev?
I agree with what Andrew said too. Like, even when Bruno Mars first came out with like the Doo Wops and Hooligans album, I
Hmm.
was floored by. I was in high school when it came out. And then Guerrilla Warfare, I think, was the next one that was great. But I was gonna say Plastic Hearts from Miley Cyrus too. But
That's okay. You
can't
guys
say
can share.
I'm gonna go with anything '80s, like synth pop era. Like if you just listen to
Like
the
New
soundtrack,
Wave?
yeah, like if you listen to the soundtrack of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, like the Hall and Oates stuff like that. Yeah, man. Yes, stuff
In
like that.
Excess and SSK, one of the greatest records, not only the 80s of all time.
It's
Oh, that's
so
cool.
iconic that those songs will just stand. Which is the hardest thing to do is write a song that's timeless. But like the '80s stuff, man, will always be timeless. That era.
Roxy Music, Avalon. This is a great record. Kevin Martin, the lead singer of Candlebox. This is like his favorite, so I got a copy. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff's rad. We all three of us love that kind of stuff. We used to do a Ryan Adams cover back in the day from kind of that zone. I know he's a little bit more rockier than what we're talking about in the moment, but
Did
Duran,
Golden Earring.
Golden
Golden
Earring,
Earring, Radar Love.
hmm all
Hmm.
that stuff. Hall and Oates is another big one.
How can you know everybody loves Hall Notes? I mean, come on, right?
Right. Right.
How
Well,
could
you
you
think
not?
you would think so.
If somebody doesn't, then they're wrong.
I'd like to record a cover of Out of Touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
mean,
perfect representation of what I'm talking about. Like that song and just that era of songs, man. The way that the instruments sounded, the way the drums sounded, I feel like they were just now getting into digital recording, and
mhm.
people really leaned into that sound and created a genre out of it, and it's fucking awesome.
The whole synth stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's one instrument that I have not, and I cannot wrap my head around it. Not the fact that it's just keys, just all the damn knobs.
Well, we gotta. If you're into that, if you're
Golly.
into that style too, there's a you might know about them, but if you don't, you would love it. There, Martin Johnson from the old band Boys Like Girls
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
started a side project called the Night Game. You
phenomenal.
need to listen to it. They just put out
Okay.
they only put out 2 records.
You said the Night Gang, like
Game,
Gang?
GAME.
Oh, game. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you start. Well, what's funny and what's maybe worth something noting is all of these guilty pleasures or things that we've just talked about all have the same relation into how we write the songs as far as big catchy hooks,
Mm-hmm.
massive choruses, massive melodies,
Yep.
harmonies, you know. So there is always one lingering factor in everything that we listen to or come across. Or write.
And like something I wanted to say earlier, if it's okay, we were talking about writing songs and not trying to be a certain genre, but like when we come up with the song and like when we go to lay certain instruments down, there'll be like a guitar part that makes the song sound country,
Mm-hmm.
and we always just lean into it, and it's like somebody's gonna listen to this and say it's a country song, but if you just take that guitar lick out, it probably wouldn't. But that's
Could
what
be
we've
anything.
had the most fun with when we was writing this record that we just put out. It's like leaning into a certain sound of a just one instrument and making it the hook, and now it becomes like a country song, or it's a
That's where
ballad.
that power pop or that power country comment comes towards you guys,
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Yep.
All right,
Hey, I
gentlemen.
got
Go ahead,
one more
Brian.
question because when Andrew said the chokehold, one more wrestling question for each of you. What is your finishing maneuver? And is it like
Oh,
a submission thing? Is it a tag team thing? Is it like the 3D Dudley Boys? You got the Doomsday device like Legion of Doom, bringing back the sleeper hold, the claw, figure four leg lock. What do you got?
That would be mine. Figure 4 for sure.
The figure four is a good one. I'm not the tallest or biggest, so I would have to find something that worked. Like I love Randy's RKO. I love the stunner. I love the diamond cutter too.
Diamond Cutter.
DDP's
Yeah,
absolutely.
DDP. Love DDP.
Yeah, DDP's life. So maybe the diamond cutter, honestly.
I would go with bringing back the meaning of Jake Roberts' DDT,
Yep.
that move,
Yep.
Mhm.
or Edge's
Would you
heel
also
hook.
bring out the snake once you get it to him? You're dragging
Oh,
out the
hell
snake and
yeah.
throwing it on him. Yeah, okay.
Hell yeah.
Honorable mention.
You got to do
If
like
I was a
Kentucky style
monster,
that and throw in it like a beaver or something.
oh yeah. If I was a monster though, if I was a big dude, the jackhammer would be my go-to every single time, and I would hold that sumbitch up in the air for as long as I could, and I would slam him on the ground, beat his ass to a pulp, walk a mud hole in his ass.
There's
that'd
your
be what I do.
promo.
Well, I
I
didn't
used
want to
to
get too
I used to
crazy.
tombstone pile drive my sister onto the back deck when I was a kid, so I got that down pretty good.
And
Muscle
luckily
memory
she didn't
probably
break her
brings it
neck.
back.
Well, she's
Yeah.
wheelchair
Well,
bound.
yeah, she's not right, God rest her soul. We have to feed her. With we have to chew it up. Baby
Gotta
birdies
liquefy
and
the Pop-Tart so she can drink it with a straw.
yeah. But if you'd ask her, she'd say, worth it.
Oh my God. When you guys said the figure four leg lock, I'm like, anybody with an older sibling, or if you're that older sibling, have absolutely given it and received that one. And it hurts.
100%.
A lot of practice on that one.
A lot of practice on that one.
I have a 7-year-old daughter who's really into wrestling now too, and we have a trampoline, and like now I get to just like relive my childhood and wrestle with her all the
Yeah,
time.
just throw around. Yeah.
It's the funnest.
Have you ever run into Ric Flair really drunk? Like he's really drunk? Like always.
No,
Not
but
yet.
I heard he shits himself when he's real drunk. And I
Don't
find
give him
common
White
ground in
Castle, and don't punch him in the stomach.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
He'll give you
honestly,
he'll give you the figure four and then he'll shit his pants.
y'all, there's so many videos of him just going absolute bananas, like out at these bars or restaurants or whatever. And you lived a life like that, man. Maybe you deserve to be,
Yeah. Let him
you know,
let him
He,
enjoy
he's
it.
like he's like the Keith Richards of wrestling.
Let the nature boy, go out
let him
into the.
Nate,
Let him
Let him
Nate.
Nate.
let the nature boy
Let him
Nate. I
Nate.
mean, that's really it, you know.
Uh, all right, the Damn Shames, big bond, big wrestling fans, also a damn good band. So thanks for the original three, Clay, Trevor, and Andrew, for being with us. Hey, we know it is the Damn Shames official at gmail.com, but where do we send everybody else to go to listen to your stuff, find out what's going on, know where you're playing a show, buy wrestling themed merchandise?
Yeah. You can hit us up at thedamnshamesofficial.com. That's our website. That'll take you to anything you need. All of our socials. We've got Facebook and Instagram and TikToks, all that stuff. The Damn Shames Official as well. We've got an online merch store if you're interested in some T-shirts and trinkets of that type. We've got vinyl records and cassettes and CDs and all that jazz. I put out a record last year called Trailers on Bricks. That's streaming on Apple Music and Spotify and Deezer and Amazon and all the places. Go put that on for this Sunday afternoon while you're grilling corn dogs for the family. People grill corn dogs, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
There is a iteration of the Trailers on Brick studio album. So we went back to the studio and cut 7 or 8 of the songs live there in pretty much had a free day. Went, cut them live there in person, and have an album out also called Live Gems. So those are live recordings that we went back and did also.
Yep.
And then let's see. This week, I don't know when this is going to come out. So this week, we're going to be pretty busy. Thursday
We got a lot of big shows this summer.
Yeah.
A lot of festivals, a lot of
We're playing with the Filthy Heathens out of Dayton, Ohio, and also Blackstone Cherry.
Yep. Blackstone Cherry at the Shed in Marysville, Tennessee, and with
Killer.
the Filthy Heathens at Liberty Theater.
Yeah, I think that's in Lawrenceburg, right?
Lawrenceburg and
Yeah,
Lawrenceburg.
my band's playing a show with the Filthy Heathens in October.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
sick. Where at?
The Yellow Cab Tavern in Dayton, Ohio.
Cool,
Dope.
man. Cool.
Sounds like a good time.
We,
We love them boys too.
Yeah,
They're good
Ohio
dudes.
is a newer market for us, so we're definitely kicking the door down and getting up there just anywhere we can, you know.
Even
So,
Northern Kentucky over there in
know,
Covington, plenty of great places to play.
yeah, Covington's got
And
some cool spots.
If you like your festivals, we're on. We got Duncan Hines Days festivals down here in Bowling Green in June. We've got Laurel Cove Music Festival over in Eastern Kentucky this year. We've got North Springs Music Festival in Tennessee.
Yeah.
We've got Sandusky, Ohio's Bike Week. up
Oh,
there.
you're going to be all the way up there. Nice.
Yeah, that's a couple
two nights
weeks, right?
two nights back to back. Yeah.
Oh, it's next month. It's
Yeah,
next month.
Next
yeah.
month.
Mhm.
Yeah. In May. 2 nights back to back. We're gonna headline one night and open up for Cody Parks in the Dirty South the second night. So we're just gonna be up there for a weekend, getting down with the Bike Week Festival, and hanging out with all those wonderful people as well.
And since you befriended a Hell's Angel, you fit right in.
Yeah, that should give me some clout.
Some clout. All right. It'll be a damn shame if you don't listen to the Damn Shames. Over to you, Brian.
Well, thank you so much to Trevor, Clay, and Andrew from the Damn Shames. And when we dream big. And we've actually had some of a little bit legitimate conversation about if we ever have an all things blues and Southern rock festival, it'd be in Kentucky. And all we need is some guy with a lot of capital. Mojo said they do it. So anyway,
There's
you
no-
guys, thank you so much
Damn
for coming
Shames are
on.
in it.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for coming on, man.
absolutely.
Really
Yeah. Hey,
appreciate
thank
it.
you guys for having us. We're glad you reached out. We're big fans of the show and really enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. It's very nice meeting y'all.
Yeah, we really
Hey,
appreciate you guys, man. Your
is-
time. It means the world to us.
Cool to hang out and kick it. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.